see a very different Liverpool team this weekend than we did in the week?
Probably. But let me think about it. Yes, there will be a few changes, probably.
How pleased are you to get the likes of Adam Lallana back?
Oh, I'm happy about each player which is back in training. Adam is training. What's the day? Friday? Wednesday? No, Thursday. Right. Yesterday was the first session. Look good, but of course we need to see how he reacts on the intensity of the training. Yesterday it was quite intense for him, I think. Yeah, but all good. Having him back is cool.
And good in the fact that you've got a few injuries out as well, so that's always helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Roberto trained yesterday too. That's important. Still a little bit of pain, but it's painful, but not that serious. In the moment when you can deal with the pain and everything is fine. He's quite a tough guy, and so he came through the session yesterday. Again, have to see how he reacts. Yeah, that's it.
Can I ask you about Sturridge as well? There's some speculation again this morning about his future in January. Do you know what you're doing with this player as far as January is concerned? Is there any truth in that?
Funny thing is that you and your colleagues create stories which are no stories, and then you ask me about a story which is no story. But what can I say about this? There's absolutely no idea or no thought to sell any player of the first team squad, actually. So I don't think it would make sense to. So unfortunately, Daniel is not in training until now. That's the thing I'm more concerned about, if you want, than about any rumors, transfer rumors. But I'm prepared for January. Yeah. So for the things you could ask in January, so will be funny, sure.
I look forward to it.
Your next 3 games, all against teams in the bottom half of the table before you get to the Derby and City on New Year's Eve. How big a chance have you got now to build a bit of momentum?
Until now, everything is okay, but of course the problem is not where the teams, Bournemouth, West Ham, Middlesbrough, which position I have in the table. But I saw a lot of Premier League games meanwhile, and yeah, I think no doubt Bournemouth is doing really well. Well, unlucky again last week. Maybe should have got penalty. Could have had a result for sure. They did well. Against strong side, everybody know. West Ham, yeah, struggles in the table, obviously, but there's still a lot of quality, so we should not think about them because of their situation in the table. No, it's about the quality they can bring on the pitch on a good day. Middlesbrough away, I think everybody until now had his problems there. So it's I can't see it as an easy journey, if you want. They all are tough games, but in the moment the good thing is I don't have to think about West Ham and Middlesbrough. The only thing I have to think about is Bournemouth, and how I said they did really well. I saw a lot of games of them this season, and they did well. That's a football playing side, good plan. Eddie Howe is doing a fantastic job there, and yeah, they have of course the pressure what we all have to win games, but I think it's a club who knows about the difficulty of the league, and so they are cool enough and confident enough to cause each team problems. And we need to find solutions for these problems, I would say, and that's what we try to do since Tuesday.
Huge amount of debate this week about young Ben and the impact that he had on the game in midweek. He's not on his own, is he? Because there's a whole cluster of youngsters coming up through the ranks. Are you getting to the stage now maybe where you can even start to rethink your policy in the next couple of windows? Because these kids could save you a fortune, couldn't they?
We don't have to change anything because we never forgot them. That's quite simple. They are involved in all our plans, not only the 3 lads now. I don't know exactly when you stop being a young player, but in my opinion, 22, 23, still a young player, 12, 13 years to go in the career. So we have a lot of these boys in the club, that's right. It's up to us, what I said a lot of times. We need to give them, to create a situation where they can come through, where they are ready in the moment when we use them. And that there will be a few ups and downs, for sure, but as long as you are in the right circumstances, in the right club, I would say, then everything will be good at the end. And we have no doubt about the potential of these boys, with a little bit of luck, a lot of training, a lot of education and attitude. Yeah. You can get a decent player, I would say, and that's what we are all working on.
You take my point. It could avoid you having to go out and spend big money bringing other players in if you've got homegrown players in your academy.
Yeah, but probably it will happen both. So that we have to buy players and that we bring hopefully some players through. That's how it is. I cannot say now. The team 2000 and let me say 20 LFC 2020 is only homegrown players. Would be nice, but would be not too nice for the players from the actual squad, which are then still in a good age. So that will and need to be a mixture of all of that. But as that was the first thing, and that's very important. We don't have no problem to talk about actually, but they have time, but they need the time too, and so it's our job to give them the time they need.
When we saw your reaction when Ben scored against Leeds, do you get more satisfaction, more enjoyment working with the younger players and seeing them come through than you do to the senior players? Maybe.
No. As long as a player wants to develop, I don't care a second about his age. Well, that's not. They're all younger than me, so from my point of view, they're all young lads, and some of them very young, and some of them in the best age, and some of them already in the age where you really can use your experience. So we have a young squad. In general, we have a really young squad, and so everything is good. And no, I enjoy a lot working with these guys, but there's absolutely no. I don't compare how old you are, how much I enjoy it. So it's all good.
But when you look at it, they're teenagers, aren't they? They've got their whole life, their career in front of them compared to the regular first-team players here.
The problem with there's only one. What I said, there's only one problem. If you start really early, you have more time and to have a career. But we start already. Most of these players nobody spoke about when they were really young, and so because it doesn't help. So that's how it is. But I think in this moment we are absolutely 100% right club for really young boys to develop, to improve, and to get the best player they can get. So that's the thing. But it's a long way to go, and that's all. And they have to make their experiences, the better ones, the not so nice ones, they have to make it. That's how it is. And as long as we can help, we will do it. But at the end, they have to perform on the pitch. We only can give advice. And when we think they are ready, then we do it. But then still, they have to deliver. That's how it is. And if they deliver, all fine. If not, then we are responsible for it.
Jurgen, the unbeaten run continues. I think it's 15 games now. And in terms of defensively, just one goal conceded in the last 4. What do you put that improvement down to?
Different things. I didn't. How many goals did we concede until now? 14 in the league. 5 of them in the first 2 games. Since then, 10. I never was worried about the defense, performance, strength, skills. respect 100%, that you all have to speak about a few things, and when we score a lot and we concede a few, then it's something you have to talk about, but we have to think more about it from a, what can I say, logical point of view. That you cannot play football without conceding goals all the time, and it's part of the game. It's not you make a mistake and the other team is doing well, so you concede a goal. But of course, working longer together helps a lot. But I know that, I'm not sure that's in England or here, but you like to put it on one player. Because of him, we didn't concede goals, or because of him. Unfortunately, it would be fantastic if it would work like this, because then you always bring this player all the time and you never will concede a goal anymore. But it's a team game, and it's teamwork, and it's defending together, and it's having together the luck in the right situation. And sometimes you are unlucky. You have absolutely, like Chelsea was when Hendo scored, was not to defend, I would say, and that's all. You only need to fix. It's not easy to create chances against you, and when they create chances, then you need very often, after they outplayed you, whatever, but didn't happen too often, then you need individual quality. Centre half, goalkeeper, whatever. That's another point, of course. But until then, you have to defend together, close the spaces together, make it as hard as possible for them to come through.
Eddie Howe's been part of a real success story at Bournemouth. I think when he took over for the second time, they were in the lower part of League One. Tranmere were top of League One at the time, and see where they are now. And they play fabulous football. What are your thoughts on what you've seen at Bournemouth under Eddie Howe since you came here?
Very, very good signs. One was one of my earlier games in Capital One Cup. 1-0, we changed a lot. And won this game. But usually it's a clear philosophy to see. It's a clear style to see. The mixture of experienced players and young players is really good. Very, I would say, not the biggest names in world football, but all of them really decent players. When I saw them playing against Arsenal, I thought, like, there's really quality in this team. And counter-attack is good. Football playing is good. Defending is absolutely okay. And as long as they don't have a lot of injury problems, I would say they have a really strong side. And I have no idea exactly how big Bournemouth is as a city, but the stadium is not the biggest one in the world. But it's a nice atmosphere. It's really nice, and I like stories like this. That a club like Bournemouth in a country like England with a lot of traditions in different cities, and everybody's waiting for this club and this club and this club. But there's always this little, I don't know what it means exactly, but like Asterix and Obelix, you know this? Yeah, this little village who can fight back. So that's really a nice story, but it's all about the football side, and they're really strong and difficult to play.
Yeah, just to go back to the academy, they're obviously doing a great job with the younger players. How much input do you have into sort of what they're doing there?
Meanwhile, a lot in case of that, because Pep is the connection man to the academy, and so yeah, that works really good. That's really good. Not only the talent group each week, every week, when we see them here training, it's I think a very good conversational level. Even when there are 5 or 6 miles between Kirkby and Melbourne, we are really close together. We respect their work, and as much as we think we have to give, we give advice. But at the end, they will always know their players better than I could know them, with a few impressions, which I could meanwhile collect. So that's really good, but that's very important. It's very important for each club in the Premier League, or each football club in the world, that you trust the people who work with your young boys, and we do this for 100%, and so that's a really good situation in the moment.
Can I ask you about Divock, who's come in, scored 2 in 2 games? I mean, that's quite difficult for a striker to come in and make an impact straight away. You're pleased with how he sort of...
I think I said it after the Sunderland game, that timing is really important, and you don't have always influence on timing, but in this case it worked really well out, because it was exactly, if you want, 1-2 weeks since the Div is back in shape and race and has the good shape in this moment, and so that was lucky, I would say. So he was ready for this specific moment coming in. I think everybody could see the difference between 1 or 2 substitutions when he came in a little bit earlier. It was not too easy for him, but that's the next thing. When we spoke about the very young lads, he's still 21, and he had not the most match time in the last few months, and he had not, so no rhythm actually, but always working, never moaning. Really, of course, a little bit more confident, a little bit less confident. That's how it is with people in all parts of life. Not the same for him, but I was really happy for him having this opportunity and being in the shape to use it. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, first that's about Shea Yojo. I know he's been out injured with a back injury, but he's back in training. Is there any time you can expect to see him?
Actually, in this moment, not, because Ocho, as a very young boy, needs now a lot of training. So he's not injured anymore. Top, but yeah, he needs training, match time as much as possible. So we thought it makes absolutely sense that he's now for the next few weeks, for sure, with the second team in training and in the games, because everything what we could do would be too early, and so he can now get kind of a rhythm, coming back in shape, and then we would see how it is. But in this moment he's not injured, anymore, but of course not match fit in the moment, so now collecting minutes with our U23.
Yeah.
Mike, can I just check you? Sorry, did you say Daniel not involved this weekend? Daniel Sturridge not involved?
No.
And does Ben stay in the squad, or does he go back to the under-23s?
No idea.
Thank you.